welcome to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. If you're new here to this channel, hey, how you doing? And if you're back again, it's so nice to see you. Well, if you like this content, this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, it would be so awesome if you could smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss a single video of what I post. And disclaimer, as usual, if you don't like to know what's kind of going on, what's current, might not be what you want to see, but I am so grateful that you are here. So this particular episode, I didn't post a video before throughout the week because things were so juicy. And I'm wearing a dress today, and I've got, well, it's not wine, but if you want wine, have a drink for me. I can't have that. However, I've got some, like a sparkling non-alcoholic in here. And it's because this whole week has been juicy. Whew, it's been juicy. And there's another reason why I'm wearing this dress. Let me put it out there. It has something to do with Victoria and summer. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff to cover. I hope I don't forget anything. Don't mind me once again if I just refer to my notes because this week has been juicy. So we start off with Nate, slimy Nate, Nathaniel, if you will. Well, he is so downtrodden. And at the beginning of the week, he was so downtrodden over, his indiscretions and the fact that Elena has basically cooked his goose and figured it out. Again, Audra kind of, nudged her along the way, but she figured it out. I told you, she's smart. Elena is smart. And what is even better was the fact that she is like, I am through with you, slimy Nate. You've passed the point of no return. I don't like who you have become. I don't even want to know you. But again, that slimy Nate for you, it's like he doesn't even have any sort of remorse for what he has done, his indiscretions, if you will. There he was, thinking back to him and Victoria hitting the sheets while they were in LA. But then he has the audacity to say that he didn't want to hurt Elena. He didn't want that to happen. She's a good woman. Blah, blah, blah. Well, slimy Nate, as Elena has nicely said, Victoria can have him. I don't want him. He's like nothing to me. Good for you, Elena. Let's have a sip for you. Anyway, so we'll probably get back to slimy Nate. As much as I don't like the character, I don't like the dude, we'll probably have to get back to him. So let's jump over to Victoria. Again, why I'm wearing this dress. Victoria has come back from LA wearing a whole purple outfit. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Her and her hair is slicked back into a nice bun. Because again, we talk about fashion we talk about fashion as well. She looked much, much better. A few little stray hairs, they probably could have put a little bit more slick gel in her hair, but overall, worlds different than what she looked like in the past. Let's hope they keep up with this. So I figured, you know what? If she's dressed up, let me dress up. So thank goodness they have finally put her in something this week that she looks presentable. Anyway, so she's there at her desk. Nikki comes in. Oh, you're back so soon? I thought that you would stay in LA, and make it like a vacation. Well, mother, no, I had to cut the trip short. I am back. So she's like, "Oh, interesting. Well, push it forward real quick." Victoria basically tells her mother that, because again, Nikki, she's pretty smart too, that her and Nate have taken their relationship to a whole other level. It's gone from professional to dabbling into the personal. Well, Nikki was like almost aghast. Oh my. And she's like, "But I thought Nate was with Elena and they were happy." Well, that was not the case at this point. See, much like Elena has said, Nate is all about power. And I mean, okay, when he was a doctor, he was like the top surgeon, allegedly. Sadly, everybody was kicking the bucket under his care. But I digress. And like he didn't have his fame at that point in time. So no, he is now working at Newman and head of the media division, and he is all about the power and the money and the power. That's slimy Nate for you. And Victoria is all there for it. She's like a little schoolgirl. Oh, Nate. Oh, Nate. Are you sure? Are you sure? Anyway, so yes, Nikki now knows that Victoria has had her little, fling with Nate. And basically, that is going to continue. They're in basically like a full-fledged relationship now. When did this happen? Just because they had one romp on top of the desk in the office, which once again, does anybody know if they really did anything? And then also in LA, now they're in some sort of full-fledged relationship. Like, okay, whatever. Let them have one another. It doesn't bother me at this point because Victoria and Nate, much like Elena has said, they deserve one another. They both love power. It's gone right to their brains. Let them have their moment. But I'm telling you, it is going to backfire. It's going to backfire. It has to backfire. Anyway, so let's move on to Summer and Daniel. Well, here's the shining other moment with me with this dress. Hallelujah! They finally took Summer out of that champagne ombre blouse and they put her into a nice outfit. Did you see her at Crimson Lights? Sure, she was a little bit hot under the collar, but her hair was on point. Her outfit was on point. She looked like she had taken a shower. Like, she looked good. Finally. Too bad her little attitude, PU, it stunk with Daniel. But do-gooder Daniel, as you will come to learn, he himself is like a bubbling stew. And he can't keep information. Like, don't tell, if you need to tell a secret, keep it, make sure you know who you're telling it to. If not, just keep it to yourself. Don't tell anything to do-gooder Daniel because it's going to get written on the pages. It's going to be, the writing will be on the wall. That's Daniel for you. So anyway, he's still, at the beginning of the week, he was still on this whole, I've got to, tell about the fact that Phyllis is alive. And I'm telling you, what? Let me ask the question. Why on God's green earth do they sit back and have these big conversations where somebody can easily eavesdrop? I mean, there's Sharon. She was pretty much like, she might as well have been like this. But she was there, looking on like, something seems a little awry here. And then you find Chance, he's creeping in the, on the little patio area. And he's watching through the window while Summer and Daniel are like having words with one another. So yes, Daniel wants to say that Phyllis is alive. Summer is totally against it. Why do you want to do this to our mother? Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Well, how do you feel about lying to your husband? You could easily clear his mother, and yet this is what you're doing." Well, Summer was like totally against this and is still against it. Well, do-gooder Daniel ends up, losing his mind, and he ends up messaging Jack saying, "Can we meet? I have something to tell you." So eventually Jack gets this message and says like, "Sure, I'll be home. I'll be home all day. Come on over." Does he really need to be wearing a suit and tie all day in his house? Come on, Jack. Loosen up a little bit. Remember when you were with Sally? She got you to take the tie off and, you were a little looser. But anyway, that's a sidebar. So, push it forward to at the Abbott estate. We're talking... Well, before we fully get into the fact that Daniel comes over, let's talk about the fact that at the Abbott estate, Ashley discovers that Diane is back from prison. And once again, here comes a hallelujah, hallelujah. They didn't put her in black. It was a deep purple blouse, and dare I say she had on dark blue jeans. We are creeping above the black Y&R writers, wardrobe stylists. I know you can do it. You can put Diane in something. Let's go get a little bold here. Put her in something bright. I don't care what you put her in. Pink with purple polka dots. Yellow and white stripes. Something, anything. Other than these dark colors. I mean, has she requested this? I don't know. I digress. So Ashley, she sees Diane and is like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing here? Like, what's going on?" And, I'm telling you, I chuckled because Ashley was going at it after Diane, and Tucker just sits back and he was like, "Oh, this is good." And he's just like watching a sparring match go on. And Jack's not even saying anything. Man, that was probably one of the funniest scenes. Is the fact that Tucker was sitting there just soaking it all in, just laughing. But anyway, that was short-lived. Kyle came in and like enough was enough. It's like you guys are going crazy. You know what? Stop doing this. You're affecting my wife. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's push it forward again back to with the Abbott estate. So, Daniel comes over. And I know there's a little bit something that I missed, but it's neither here nor there. But Daniel comes in and basically he spills the beans over the fact that Phyllis is alive. He spills it to Michael, Jack, and Kyle. And I mean, these guys look like they were like some sort of 4-pack, at the OK Corral. And Michael's like, "Very interesting. Do you have any proof? Any evidence? Did you take a picture? Any sort of recording? Anything? Like, this doesn't necessarily help us because we need proof to back this up." And Daniel's like, "No, I don't have that." But you see, here's what Daniel's angle was, because he made sure that Summer was nowhere to be found. And Daniel basically says, the whole story as if Phyllis had contacted him. Because if you remember, Phyllis she revealed herself to Summer only and said, "You can't tell Daniel." Again, Summer, bubbling stew, she can't hold the information. She said it was too much for her to carry. So she ends up telling Daniel. And do gooder Daniel did exactly what his mother feared that he would do. He spilt the beans. And yeah, so now Daniel is spinning it as though Phyllis came to him and not Summer. So every minute, Kyle was like, "We need to tell Summer. We need to tell Summer." Daniel's like, "No, no, you can't tell Summer because she's going to get offended over the fact that, Mom came to me and not to her." Very wise, Daniel. Very wise. You're trying to cover your tracks. And then everybody's like, "So where is Phyllis now?" "I don't know. I don't know where she is, but she's alive. I spoke to her myself." So now that's going to be a whole other thing, and you'll see what'll happen next week. I'm telling you, it was like a whole week's worth of juicy information. We had Tucker trying to get Diane to leave town and, saying that he could help her. And, Diane went, "Boo, Tucker may not be my favorite person, but maybe he's right, Jack." Ah. So that was short-lived. That didn't go much anywhere, but such is life. So we're going to see what's going to happen and transpire next week. We already have some tidbits, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers because that's not what I want to do. I want to tell you as it happens. Okay, so let's move to Devon, Harmony, and Tucker. Harmony, aka Yolanda, aka Harmony, whatever. So that was like a nice feel-good moment. Did it do much for me? Not really, but Yolanda, Harmony had an opportunity to bond with her grandson, that cute little Dominic, and she played with him, with whatever toys. Again, we didn't get to see that, but we know that it allegedly happened. And so Devon and Harmony had, some recalls of the past when he was a little boy and things that they used to do. And, he was like, "Mom, I love you, blah, blah, blah." I'm really going to gloss over this because it was just one of those feel-good moments, almost like a scene filler, if you will. Wasn't much to it. And yeah, so she was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't the best." And he's like, "Mom, it's okay. You're my mom. I love you, blah, blah, blah. How do you feel about me taking the Winters last name, going to do that?" And she's like, "I'm fine with that because, you're more of a Winters than anything." And so Tucker comes in, "Hey, how you doing?" And Tucker, gets greeted by Devon in a nice way. And Devon is basically saying, "Thanks for contacting my mom. I appreciate that." And, well, again, let's gloss over it. Wasn't much to it. As I said, it was more of a scene filler than anything. And, yeah, so that was that. Well, we're going to talk about Sally and Nick and Adam. Sally. What can I say about Sally? She's really, I guess, at this point, she's protective of her unborn daughter, and she's got to make this life for her and her daughter. And she had contacted, or I guess she heard from Jill, because her and Chloe were together because the deal was allegedly supposed to go through with Chancellor so that her and Chloe could have their interior design firm or whatever join forces with Chancellor's. Anyway, Sally started talking, and before you knew it, that whole deal went south for now because Jill was putting the brakes on it. Well, at this point, Sally is losing her mind because what am I going to do? Well, Adam has offered her a job at McCall. I think it was the COO position because Adam would be CEO, so it would be COO position, or whatever role she, so fit to do. Anyway, so she's thinking about it. Well, next thing you know, she ends up telling Nicholas, darling. She tells Nicholas about this whole offer from Adam. And Nick, as suspected, is losing his noodle. And he's like, Sally, wait, why would you even consider this? I tried to help you. I was trying to give you the money to back you up on your project and invest in you because I believe in you and I believe in what you and Chloe can do, but you would rather take a job with Adam? He's trying to suck you back in. And she's like, all of a sudden, Sally just goes on the defensive. And oh, so it couldn't possibly be because I actually have the skills. I mean, I was running this division and I was CEO and blah, blah, blah before. And so you don't have the confidence or the faith in me, and I have to look after me and my daughter. And he's like, again, big mistake, Nick. You got to watch your words around Miss Sally Spectra. And Nick's like, well, your baby is a Newman and it will be thoroughly taken care of. I mean, it was like, wait, what? Well, Sally with a quickness was like, my baby is a Spectra. I'm like, okay. Well then, Sally Spectra. My baby is a Spectra. And basically she was like, we will have none of that. And yeah, she just knocked poor Nicholas down a few pegs. Well, anyway, she ends up, by the ending of the week, she ends up meeting with Adam. And Adam's like, got all these great plans for her to join in McCall along with him because, they had such a great working relationship before. And yeah, Sally she put the brakes on that real fast. And she's like, looky here. As much as this is great, and as much as I have to take care of my daughter and look after my daughter, like, you're going to have to understand that I am with your brother, and there is no more you and I. Like, it's not happening. So I wish you well, and that was the end of that story. And you could tell Adam was heartbroken because at one point in the week, him and Nick were in the park. Again, Chance the Park, where everything happens, such is life. And Adam basically told Nick, I am completely and utterly in love with Sally. Can you say the same? Well, Nick was like, had no words. This kind of seemed familiar. I'm pretty sure that conversation between him and Nick had happened before. The same story about the L word, but whatever. Well, by the end of it all, Nick ended up having a conversation with Elena because he met her at the club and they had ice cream together. Did anybody see the ice cream? I saw them with drinks, but I never saw the ice cream. Anyway, Elena basically said, just because I'm in a failed relationship, you know what? Do your thing. If you're in love, you're in love, and that kind of thing. So Nick basically said he was the happiest he has ever been in a long, long time. And he ended up surprising Sally Spectra in her hotel room. How he got in there, I don't know. Maybe he has an extra key. I have no idea. I don't know. So he ends up surprising her with, there was like room service brought in. I think there was like flowers. Like it was like a whole spread, a whole to do. Sally walks in and is like, what is all of this? And yeah, he professes how he is utterly and madly in love with her, and he's the happiest he's ever been in a long, long time. And yeah, the two of them, last we saw, were getting ready to hit the skins on the bed because that tickled Sally's fancy real fast. So that was that. And let's see. We have Connor and his little stinky little attitude since he found out this week that he's having a sister and that it's from Sally. Well, Connor he is not feeling it whatsoever. And him, Johnny, Chelsea, and Billy were at society. They were supposed to have, I think, pizza. Dare I say a Hawaiian one with ham and pineapple, just because Billy was talking about how, it's got a mix of sweetness with the salt and the blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I guess he's some sort of pizza aficionado, but whatever. So Connor was like, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing. I want to go home. I want to go home. Johnny's trying to cheer him up, and yeah, that wasn't happening. He ends up, snapping at everybody. Um, Billy takes Connor outside to have a little, few words with him, and that really didn't go over too well at the beginning. And eventually, he had to say, your mom and dad, they're going to love you no matter what, even though you're going to have a little sister. Like, 'tis what it is. And I think it calmed down the poor child, but he still had a little stinky attitude. Back in my day, I couldn't talk to anybody like that, but anyway. So, yeah, let's see. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. I think we've got everything. We talked about Audra. Basically helping Elena along. Which at the end of the episode, because Nate and Victoria, want to kind of keep things professional in the office, and whatever happens outside of the office, well, that's whatever. And Audra, as usual, she just kind of happens to crop up out of nowhere, and yeah, she sees what's going on. I feel as though she may end up getting her wish, and she may end up being the CEO of Newman Media. Because when things start to go south, because they will with Slimy Nate and Victoria, I mean, what's left? What's left for this dude to do? He is so creepy. Ugh. He gives me heartburn. Just, ugh. Ugh. But anyway, no, I think we've got everything. We talked about Daniel. We talked about Kyle. We talked. It was a whole week of crazy shenanigans. And once again, cheers to finally getting Diane out of black. Please let the Y&R stylist not put her in any black this week. And thank you, stylist, for getting Summer out of that champagne ombre blouse that she's been wearing for a sweet week. And finally, Victoria. Yes, slicked back her hair and she was wearing something half decent. She kind of looked like she was, dare I say, a CEO. Now, if you could get her a real power suit, that would make a girl happy. But I digress. So we're going to have a sip. Again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for staying put and, watching until the end. I mean, again, it was a mishmash of stuff, but it was a whole whirlwind of a week. And today is Mother's Day. Cheers to all the mothers out there, all the mothers who do so much. And I mean, it's a doozy. So thanks to everyone, and thank you for being here at Y&R For Life. I look forward to doing another video for you. Let's see what's going to happen this week. Again, this is all for the love of the show, because I love me some Y&R. It helps me relax. It helps me just to step away from what's going on and just have some fun. And again, if you like this content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, please feel free to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure. I love having you here. I love Y&R, and as a side note, I would love to be on Y&R. That is my dream. I don't care if I'm like Crystal working at the Grand Phoenix and I do a walk-on. I just want to be on the show. I love it. So thanks again, guys. Cheers, and have a fantastic rest of the day.